Right, folks. Hey, this is Brig Hart, and we welcome you to the Calling All Builders R3 Global. And what we're doing is teaming up with a beautiful company, and we're going to help this company after the first 10 years and 1.6 billion. We feel like we can come together as a brand. That's R3 Global, Team R3 Global. Give me a thumbs up if you Team R3 Global. Come on, who wants restoration, revival, and restitution in your life as you're doing this? Give me the big thumbs up, baby. So here's how this is going to work. This is R3 Global coming together with Jeunesse. I honestly believe it was by divine appointment. It's taken us about a year to get here. If y'all want to play with some numbers, it's interesting. I've been talking about going into the promised land of networking for what? It's interesting. 40 years. 40 years. It's actually the end of February. I saw the Amway business in April. I got started. So look at this. 40 years. Now, we haven't been wandering in the wilderness, but I certainly have not seen the vision God gave me come to pass yet. We've reached a lot of people, had a lot of fun. We've made a lot of money. More importantly, we've helped more people to understand what life, how rich life can be when you do as Jeff said, putting Christ at the center of everything that you do. Because until we learn to seek God first and foremost, even the Old Testament and the 10 Commandments, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Second commandment, thou shalt make no graven images. Or interesting that he even talks about himself again, about keeping the Sabbath day holy and not taking his name in vain. Interesting what our society's doing today. They are cursing my living God, and it hurts, but the kingdom of God lives within me and you if you've accepted Christ. So guess what? We can prosper even as this country and other people, they choose to go the way they go. My Bible says, this day I set before you life and death. Choose what? Life. And I want that life more abundantly. Let me do this. There's a couple, all of you have scriptures too that you base your life on. I've got a plethora of them. But there's about a dozen that I can quote inside and out, and I read every day. Why? Because I've got them written out. Because there's something about the Word. God is the Word, and Word is God. Now, we're talking about what's happening with R3, a vision God gave me in 2000, specific to R3. Before that, it was You Can Too. And that's what I believed. I believe God gave me the message that what I did, anyone else could do. And that's what I did my best to bring into a system with You Can Too. And did it again with R3. But let me tell you one of the scriptures I based my whole life upon. And if it's worked for me, I think it'll work for you, because God's no respecter of persons. Let me just give you one that if you meditate on this, things can change for you dramatically. Because I know everybody on this call wants different results than what they've had in the past, and me too. Now, folks, I'm living the dream. Most people want to be where we're at. That's fine. I more desire you to want what I am. I'm a believer, not ashamed of the gospel. I'm a guy that totally believes the word of God. I don't even have an opinion. Where it speaks, I don't have an opinion on it. And I don't need some knucklehead with a band around his collar because he called him something he shouldn't be called in the first place to interpret this word for me. The Holy Spirit that wrote this thing lives inside of me. He will interpret it for me. And I do well, and I'm around a bunch of teachers. So, but let me get to this. Psalm 1. Blessed is the man or woman that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. You know what we're teaching in this third day, this R3, this relaunch of a business strategy we've been working on 40 years? We don't want to walk in the counsel of the ungodly. Now, God's saying, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. So they can talk all they want. I don't listen to them. Nor standeth in the way of sinners. Not that, I don't talk to them and all that, But I promise you this, I don't stand around hanging out with them folks. They're going to keep sinning. They're going to keep sinning. It's because you will become who you associate with. I learned that in my life before my born again life. You become who you associate with. You run with dogs, what are you going to get? Fleas. Okay. Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. People that are blabbing, talking, and mocking my God, I don't hang around them. I don't watch CNN, constantly negative news. I don't watch all that CBNBC or whatever. I watch CBN, Christian Broadcasting Network. Why? Because I want to be about godly people. You notice this, he's talking about don't walk, don't stand, and don't sit. The worst thing is you finally sit down and you're listening to all this junk. You know what most of you need to do? Turn your freaking computer off and go take a walk. It's amazing to me that people can live in front of this stupid thing. I ain't doing it. Now, I do it, and I'm using it as a form of communication, but I promise you, I ain't living this thing. You're going to be with me, you're going to turn your phone off. You ain't going to be sitting there staring at this thing. I've thrown leaders out before. Well, I want their attention when I'm talking to them, and I've made the mistake too, but I promise you this, there's too much negative on it, folks, and we're going to use these. I'm not going to be controlled by these substances. So anyway, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. This is his law. He says, if I meditate on it day and night, guess what I'll be? Blessed. Let me see the hands of all you want to be blessed. Let me tell you what you ought to do. Turn off TV, ditch it, get you a couple of these. This is my newest one. I've already got it all marked up and everything. But anyway, that's all right. I got hundreds of them. But he delights in the law of the Lord, and his law does he meditate on day and night. Now, how do you do that? By word have I hidden in thy heart so I won't sin against thee. You got to know the word. You know what faith cometh by? Hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And he shall be like a tree planted beside living waters. You know what's coming, don't you? John 4:13 and 14. You know it's coming. By the rivers of living water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Now, folks, I just told you how you can prosper. And God's saying, read my word, study it, meditate on it. Don't hang around knuckleheads. Be around good people. Focus on me. You'll be like a tree planted beside living waters, and you will prosper in everything you do. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff, which the wind driveth away. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of righteousness, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. See, he gives you an option. Now, let me give you one more and we'll get on with it. Habakkuk 2:2. I already told you, I honestly believe 40 years now networking. Here I am, a beautiful 66 years young. I'm a 30-some years old in the Lord, so that's all I really am. And here I am, got a vision for networking, made a covenant with the Lord, created a 501c3. God gave me a vision for networking and what it could be in the year 2000 after I'd been censored for my first business. And he sent me to Genesis 26, digging Isaac in the Valley of Gerar. And he said he'd show me my past, present, and future. I think the reason that a lot of people are even following me to this day, I promise you, the vision I have has not been fulfilled. It's about to be. It's about to be. Because I want to read you why it's about to be, and I know it's about to be. Because he gave me Genesis 26, and he showed me my past, present, future. My past, the Amway business. My present, when he gave it to me, became the Monavie business. And guess what? Isaac dug 3 wells. And the third one, Rehoboth, each well he dug, one produced more, 10 times more than the first, 10 times more the third than the first and second. Guess what this well is about to produce? I broke 500 diamonds in Monavie. Listen to this. I broke 68 diamonds in Amway in 12 years. I broke 500 diamonds in 3.5 to 4 year period in Monavie. You know what I'm believing for? I'm going to tell you. 1,000 diamonds in the first 2 years. Who wants to be one? At 1.2 to 1.7 million a year. How many of y'all would like to see that in your life this season? Yeah, baby. And I want to help you. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm trusting in God to bring them to me. And I don't mean me sitting in my bus not doing anything. I've already been out. I've walked this. There's 360 lots. They're all multimillionaires. I've already identified a couple of them. Already talked to a couple of people today that I've never met before. Today was the first day they met me. They know this. I'm taking health and wellness products to market through a network. I'm looking for people who want to live a happier, healthier, more prosperous life. And I tell them I have a methodology that's never been done before in the marketplace. I've got products and services. The way I'm taking's never been done before. So if you want something exciting and new and fresh and you don't have to leave your bus to do it, talk to me. Talk to me. You can do it too. Here's why I'm going to tell you why God's about to do something huge. First of all, I didn't call Jeunesse. Somebody called me. I was praying for doors to shut and open, a door shut and a door open. You know the story. Here's what God says about a vision. And by the way, I've only had 2 visions in my lifetime. My lifetime. Some people have a vision every day. They're a nutcase. I drink a little wine, but I don't drink that much. Give me a break. Somebody, I got a vision every day. Every day God gives me a vision. You're a nutcase. You need help. You need help. Anyway, here's what the Lord has said in Habakkuk 2:2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run with it that readeth it. Write it down, and the people that read it can run with it as I run with it. Have you read my book, Why Not You, Why Not Now? I wrote the vision. I actually wrote the timing, the vision, everything. The thing I missed was the third well. I actually thought I was on to the third well. Hadn't been on the third well. I also said I'm going into my promised land and taking people where the land's flowing with milk and honey. And guess what? It becomes 40 years this next month. Is that amazing? I'm even amazed. I'm amazed. But watch this. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. God appointed the time. I didn't. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Okay, folks, watch this. I'm not preaching at you. Here's what I want to tell you. We're about to rebirth this beautiful vision God gave me. R3 Global, all these people, the treasure chest, that's you. We're about to do something again. See, ultimate success, knowing God's will for your life and doing it. Team R3 Global. As a matter of fact, Ron and I talking today, this is a call that's calling all builders. And builders are going to be in Team R3 Global Club, Team R3G Club. You're a builder, you meet the requirements, you're welcome in. Doesn't mean everyone's not welcome to Jeunesse. 2 different things. We're looking for builders. Let me ask you something. How many of y'all want to live the dream again? See this? This was one part of my life, just one little segment of my life. Yachts, jets, buses, planes, the nicest cars, and more money than I could spend. And so I didn't spend it. We sowed it in the ministry. The More Project, all the ministries we've been dealing with all these years, love it, gonna do it again. Here's what I miss. All you guys, all the people, all those beautiful diamonds. Millionaires Club. But you know what? Watch this. Making millions of dollars, millions in bonuses. Remember, thinking big. Remember, dream big, believe big, achieve big. And look at this. Isn't this amazing? This thing's coming back. It's coming back. Oh, we're going to finish what we started. Okay, let's get on to the call. What we're doing, here's our strategy. 2 great brands are coming together. R3 Global, the what, why, and how of building, and Jeunesse. Beautiful company. Randy and Wendy created 10 years, $1.6 billion, 121 countries, debt-free. They have welcomed us through Kevin Gagiri, my sponsor, sent a messenger. I came, I went and looked at what they had. Next thing you know, I'm going to bring back R3 to life, because without a system, doesn't matter how great the company is and how many people they have already, without a great system that everybody can benefit from the what, why, and how of building, we're going to teach something that's never been taught before. When we start seeing the results, build the model, prove the model, replicate the model, it's going to attract a lot of people that aren't even on this call. You got to understand that. And we're going to be sponsoring those people into this methodology that we're going to be teaching. They're going to have the option to join the Jeunesse as an A, B, or C, an affiliate, a builder, or consumer. We at R3 that are approaching the people, we're going to spearfish. We're not throwing the net yet. You know the difference? Spearfishing one at a time, one at a time. We're looking for people right now that qualify at our socioeconomic level and above. Well, anyway, yeah, I got a sponsor. Man, I got to go after DJ Trump, baby. And all these people out here, you don't think I'm going to play by the same rules I'm asking you to play by? We're not looking for knuckleheads. We're not looking for people that are broke, busted, disgusted. That doesn't mean we're not nice people. I'm not even doing apologetics. We're looking for people who are looking. We're looking for people that have the ability to influence people into a business simply by telling them they're on to something. Now listen to what I just said. I'm not trying to dazzle them. I'm not trying to convince them. As a matter of fact, no convincing, no trying to negotiate with them to get in. I'm not looking for anybody to try and prove this thing, whatever. We're looking for people who are looking. When I called Ron Perdome, it was my relationship that he said yes to. When I called Chuck or Jeff or any number of people that are on this call, I personally put in 25 people in the preload. I actually had 54 I wanted to, but I boiled it down. I said, you can't work with that many people. You can't do it. You can't work with that many legs. Some people just slam them in. That day's dead and gone. We're going to talk about, we're in the preload process right now. R3 is giving the opportunity for the next 3 weeks, 3 more weeks to preload. The first tier has preloaded. Now we're into the second tier preload, and they're loading their 2 and 10 maximum, 12 people. And then the next tier is going to be 2 and 5. Next tier is 2 and 2. 2 in your overflow leg and 5 on your pay leg. Let's get these leg things right. If I ever hear out of any one of your mouths something about a power leg, I'm kicking you out. And I can do it. I won't give you the time of day. There's no such a thing. Power leg is where I build. Power leg is where you build. There's no such a thing. There's an overflow leg, which should you happen to have a sponsor that does something, they'll probably put some people that you get the benefit of in a binary. That's all it is. And then you have a pay leg. Everyone else you put in. In time, after we turn the switch on, it'll be a greater and a lesser leg, but that's a binary. We are not building in a binary situation initially. And you know, every person you put in becomes a leg. The binaries are not legs. We call it a left and a right leg, but really it's a left sales team and a right sales team. And you do have, by the time you put in 2 or 10, or ultimately you want 12 good people in the business. Write that number down. It's easy to remember. Jesus chose 12 disciples for the first time. Man, it's interesting. All these numbers are lining up. The company, you maximize the comp plan by having 12 sapphire legs. You know, but 12 is your number. And the reason I say 2 and 10 is because we're going to reserve all of you that are preloading a top position right under you. And then you're going to place 2 good folks in that overflow leg, builders, whoever you want to do a favor to, or you love and care about, or they're smart enough to know I want to be in the overflow leg. Put them over there. It doesn't matter. Then everyone else in your pay leg. Everybody has got to build 2 legs. Nobody gets a pass. I will tell you this, in the past couple of days, I've been meeting with some people, and you know what I'm finding out about them? They don't know nothing about networking. I don't care how much money they made. They know nothing about building a network. They don't understand that, listen, it's all about people that want more than what they have and willing to do something about it. We'll give them the methodology. In this R3, I'm going to give you the methodology. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Ron, for helping me to see what the 2x2 matrix could be. Because Yes, are you going to be put in a binary? Sooner or later in Jeunesse, you will be, left to right, overflow, and Pele. Yes, you'll have a unilevel plan. You want to have that because some people like myself are going to put in dozens. I want all 25 of my folks to go diamond. So I have 25 legs that I got to build 15, 25 deep with to get them there. Most of you will have 2 to 10, 12 max is what I'm suggesting. And you ought to be praying those people in now and placing the top 2 right now. One left, one right. Doesn't matter. Just put one in your overflow leg, one. Anyway, we'll get into that. Doesn't matter. But we have an ABC opportunity we're bringing, brand new to the industry. And we're writing the rules right now. Get ready. This is an update too. The affiliates are going to lead with the product. Affiliates are people that don't want to do what we're doing right now. They don't want to get on these calls. They don't want to make a list of people. They don't want to make the calls. They don't want to face rejection. They don't want to read books, listen to tapes, go to functions. They don't want to learn personally, grow. Now, I'm not putting them down. Affiliates, I'm telling you, I can tell you affiliates that make a whole lot more money than any builders do. Why? Because they've learned to use social media. They've learned to reach out to a bunch of people. There's great products on the market that they can represent. So their brand represents. A couple things are going to change. This Jeunesse 2.0 and R3G squared, let me tell you what we are. Everything's new and improved. So from this point on, forget distributors. We're going to be brand representatives. And we are going to offer to 100% of the people you talk to an opportunity to join R3 and Jeunesse as one of 3 levels. But I'll go back to that. It's ABC. Affiliates, they lead with the product. B, builders, they lead with the opportunity. And C, they just drink the product and be happy. Drink it, feel it, share it. ABC. And we're going to give you the details of that. Let me follow my notes or else this could go on all night. We just did a fly-in because I flew in, got my, hey, this meets all the criteria. They like me, I like them. We're coming together. Bonnie, let's show them a little bit of the fly-in. This is the first fly-in. This is going to be historic. This happened a couple weeks ago. There's Randy and Wendy right in the center. There's Ed and Cheryl over all the way to the left. And there's Kevin, my sponsor, Gagiri over there. There's Katie Holt over there. Thank you to the corporate. And there's the 25 first couples that had enough faith and trust in my judgment to get on a plane or get in their car, drive to Lake Mary, Florida, spend 2 days, an evening, a morning, afternoon, and part of an evening, and then they flew home the next day. The fly-ins that Jeunesse is offering, because we are going to offer these each month to all the people that qualify, and I'll tell you, you're going to have 2. Whoever done, if you don't have 2, one lap, you can't influence 2. You just wait in the wings. You're not first string. We'll get to you, but I'm flying in anybody that can influence 2 people. And if I find out you put your son and your cat or your dog in, you're going to walk home. That we're not looking for just 2 people. We're doing a 2x2 matrix, and we're not looking for it to be broken. We're looking for this club to be solid. These are people of influence. So let's go to the next slide. These are the first 20. You see yourself in there. See Russ and Gail, and look at Nick and Mike, and look at Jerry back there, and Greg. I'm going all the way across there. Show them something. This is the entrance into the globe. Now they have 42 offices around the world. This is the one in Lake Mary. This is the home office of Randy and Wendy. There's Chuck back there, and I see Lita walking to greet Russ. Look at that. There's John, Valley, and Laura. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So you all will have this opportunity. The next fly-in is going to be the Friday and Saturday, and I forgot the dates already. I think it's the 12th and 13th, or the 13th, 14th. We'll get to that. Anyway, go to the next slides. These are just some of the slides we took. So you'll get a chance to see Jeunesse, one team, one group. They welcomed our team, and they call it Brig Hart's team, but really it's R3 Global. What you're seeing also is those are 250 diamonds they have that created 1.6 billion in volume last year. My goal is to match that in the next year. There's Randy and Wendy, the innovators. They are the sweetest people. Wait till you get a chance to fly in and hear their story. Let's go to the next one. You'll get a chance. I want everyone. There's Ben, my buddy, who is helping me to do all the paperwork to get this thing done properly so that no false expectations for them and us. There's Russ. There's Jerry back there. And there's Mr. Jeff. All right. And there's Scott, Chief Visionary Officer. This is Wendy's son, and he's Chief Visionary Officer. Great guy. He loves the business, got a lot of energy that he kind of brings to the table. You'll get a chance to meet him. Young, good-looking guy. Lots of, the kind of people we want to be around. Go ahead, next slide. He's addressing the folks about where we're going, what the international market's all about. Do you see Randy and Wendy coming up? They really are. They're the sweetest folks. Randy's 80 years young, and she's about 9 years younger. She goes to work every day and knows everything that's going on in that blooming company. I am impressed. But let me tell you what they told us. They're looking for a U.S. marketplace. They have built basically international, and they want U.S. And basically nobody wants to build in the U.S. Why? It's a tough market. But I want to tell you what, we're going to break the code, brother. We're going to break the code. It's going to be the simplest place you ever built the business. Build that wall, brother. Look at this. They gave us a chance to reintroduce us to the Monavie product that I took $3 billion worth. Their number one product is Reserve, which is right there. Their Mind product is another top selling. Then they've got some, the stem cell research is what made their product line. So you're going to have an opportunity. We've actually developed a few kits that we're going to start with. So next slide, you'll get a chance to get all this when you fly in. Here I am. Let me go through this real quick. Here's my goal, folks. Even on this call with 60, 80, 100 folks, and there's going to be thousands of folks on the call in the pre-launch. Right now, we're just preloading, selecting people to listen to us. The R3 Builders preload is all about, I put in 25. I let them last week load up to 12 plus people, but I just put 10 on there. Just by them putting in 10, it's 250 people. Now we're into the second tier preload, and we're allowing them to introduce 2 and 10. Well, even if they just put 10 in, that's 2,500 people. The next tier is 2 and 5. If they just put in 5, that's 7,500 people. Then the last tier is 2 and 2. So let's say just put in 2 people. That's 14,005 folks. That's what you call a preload. That's my goal right there, my goal. So we're going to pre-launch 2 by 2 in the next 30 days, and we're 1 week into it right now. I know we've loaded, I don't know the exact number, but it's in excess of 300 people. So we're right on track, right on track. And you guys need to be doing just what you're doing. Now, here's the deal. Some of the people put 2 in, some put 10 in, some put 20 in. But that's why I know, that's why I gave you the numbers. 2 and 10, 2 and 10, 2 and 5, 2 and 2. Because you have to put 2 in the overflow with the reserve position, then everyone else in your pay leg. How deep can we take this? Our 2 by 2 matrix. We'll get into this. We want you to go 5 levels deep and be making the money that we're telling you, the 2 for 700. And here it is real quick. Your goal is in our 2 by 2 matrix. And by the way, do you have some of the screenshots? Oh, by the way, let's stay here for a second, Bonnie. Go back again. Go back again. What our goal is here is you select 2 folks. They're going to go in this 2 by 2 matrix. And basically what you're seeing is a picture of how many people each time you take it another level deep. The first level's 2, second level's 4, but really what we're saying, a building block is you and 2 who help 2. So that's 6 people. I'm actually calling that the first level. Now, when you go to the next level, when you go 5 levels deep, you'll have 32 people in the business, 32, each of them doing 100 plus in volume. You'll net about $700. So your goal is 2 by 2, 5 levels deep to earn 700. What's interesting, when you go 10 levels deep, it's 1,000 left and 1,000 right. You know what you're going to earn? 5 to 10,000 a month. Isn't it interesting how it exponentially grows? 5 levels deep, which you can do in the next 24 or 42 hours, 2 weeks, 2 months. That's up to you. We're going to hold you builders to put in your 2 by 2 in 42 hours. And by the way, that's when we know you're a builder. When you put in 2 by 2 in 42, you're a builder. And by the way, that is going to be the specs. If you can't do that, join the affiliates, join the customers. Jeunesse is going to love you. When you can meet the qualifications of 2 by 2, we welcome you to the R3 Builders Club. By 10 levels deep, you're 5 to 10,000 a month. Just to throw this out at you, 15 and 20 levels deep, you're between 10 to 50 and upwards to $1,000 a month in income. So by the way, if you go 5 levels deep in 42 hours to to 2 weeks. You can do it in 2 months. How deep, how long will it take you to get 10 levels deep? Well, you're going to have to put 1,000 people in. We're going to have an app that's going to have all this for you. Here's my goal, is to have you standing up talking about how long it took you to help your 2 go 5 levels deep. It's all about helping them. It's no longer about putting 200 people in. Now, go to that next slide, if you would, those 2 by 2. I want to show you what we're working on in an app. Now, by the way, these are just screenshots we're working with, but look at this. You're actually going to have an app on your phone that literally, when you've identified folks and qualified them, you're going to send them an app to look at. And they're going to see the story and they're going to hear it. And then look what, when they agree to the terms, here's what's going to show up. A 2 by 2 matrix that they have to fill out before we place them in our network. This is interesting, because if they don't want to join as a builder, they'll have that option. I'm a builder. I want the 3 ways. I want the executive check match. I want the team commissions, and I want those builders bonuses. I want to make the big bucks. Okay. As a builder, you must meet this criteria. Within 42 hours, you have to place 2 people, 1 left, 1 right, and help them get 2. When you do that, this will go green, and all of a sudden you'll have access to the R3G Builders Club. You will be inserted into the binary, and you're off and running. And your goal, just what it's showing here, to take those 2 businesses, 2 legs, 5, 10, 15, and 20 levels deep. Now, let me tell you what that means. We're not going to get into all the details of how the comp plan works and all that. I can just tell you this. By the time you maximize the comp plan in just the binary, which this is not the binary, this is a 2 by 2 matrix that we have perfected, and we're going to perfect it even more. But your goal is they pay on cycles every $300 and $600. So you have an overflow leg and a pay leg. When your pay leg generates every 300 points of product, your overflow leg, which is already create 600 points. So it's a 2 to 1 ratio. It'll do and every time you do 600 in your overflow, 300, that's what's called a cycle, and they pay you $35. They will pay you up to, you ready for this? 750 cycles. You ready? $26,000 a month. Okay, $26,000 a month. What is that? 10 months to $260,000 bucks, almost $300,000 a year. And by the way, that's about what an emerald makes. But can I share something with you? When you mature it and go a few levels deep in the 2 by 2, past 20 levels deep, you know what you're going to earn? 10 levels deep is about 10,000 a month. 20 levels deep is about that 20. It's about 15 levels deep. 20 levels deep, you earn upwards to $100,000 a month, and $100,000, you can earn up to $100,000 a week, but it's $26,000 per month. When you build it in depth, it'll turn to $26,000 a week, or $1 million some a year. So you go from emerald to diamond. So, by the way, we'll get into all that, but it's a 2 by 2 matrix. Until you help these 2 businesses go 5 levels deep, you won't get a chance to put the 3rd person in after the preload. Right now in the preload, we're giving you grace. You can put as many people, 2 by 10, 2 by 5, 2 by 2. But when we enter in the 2nd week of April, the pre-launch, we are only allowing people to put 2 people in if you're going to join the R3G Builders Club. If you're just going to join Jeunesse, no problem. ABC program, and our organization is going to be made up of 65% affiliates, 15% customers, and 15% builders. And a bunch of them are going to turn into affiliates. Some of the affiliates will turn into builders in time. Okay, let's go to that. Let me keep going on this. We are becoming more and more selective. Yeah, we're in this preload, and there's your 2 by 10 where we're at right now. By the way, if you're in the 2nd tier preload and you're, identifying your 2 and 12, congratulations. Get ready. Next level, it's 2 and 5, 7 max, next level. By the way, this preload form is on brighart.com. You can go there to fill out that form for yourself first, and then your folks. What they're doing, Bonnie and them are working on this form being loaded on my site, brighart.com, so that you can click on that preload so that you can go ahead and fill it out. And I think we've got a screenshot of that too. I don't know, Bonnie, if you've already got that, or yeah, there it is. And by the way, this is on brighart.com. So once you click on it, you fill this out yourself, you submit it, and then I think you can then you can send your folks to do the same thing. And by the way, yeah, if you need any help, I'll get you the name, number of the guy. You know that Saeed is Ceciri is helping us, Bonnie's helping us. The company stepped up and really helping us get this preload done properly. Okay.
Talk to Van.
Fly in. Let me teach you guys this. Oh, okay. We'll just go through these. Go, Bonnie. Hey, by the way, these are packs that they offer to their organizations. These are not the packs that I'm promoting, by the way. Our organization voted that they're willing to go for the Monavie and the Reserve. Go to the next packs, if you would, Bonnie, the R3 Global packs that we put together. Here are the packs that we have built that the company's done for us, customized, and we have a basic, a supreme, and a supreme extra. Don't worry about these. This is, for $300, you're going to get your 150 points. For $570, you're going to get 300 CV, and for $639, you're going to get 320. We have selected the products in here based on what Lita, me, and the team like about their products. I will tell you this: they're going to bring the formula of Monavie back to its state that I had it in, and let me tell you, we're going to finish what we started with that product. In the meantime, the Reserve is their #1 product. It's $1 billion product. Wait till you start, and also you zip the top, take it in. Next thing you know, you got more energy, you know what to do with it. Okay, what else you got on there, Bonnie? You'll get a chance to see all this at the preload, and you'll get a chance to order those products. So we call them the basic. Oh, there we go. We got pictures. Good job, Bonnie. Pictures of the products and all that stuff. Roll out product packages for Team R3 Global. We'll get the details to you here shortly. Go ahead, Bonnie, to the next. What's the next slide you got in there? The fly-in. Now, folks, listen to me carefully. Let's just sit on this one for a little bit. We're going to have a fly-in, and it is Friday until Sunday. That's 12th through the 14th. Some of you will come in and stay Friday night only and fly home Saturday evening, but it's a Friday night. We're going to have dinner, have meeting next morning, afternoon. Some of you will fly out. Some of you will stay both nights, and then you'll fly out Sunday. No problem, by the way. Here's what's interesting about a fly-in. Listen closely. For all of you that would like to come to the next fly-in, here's what you must do to qualify. You got to put 2 people in the preload, one on your left, one on your, and it doesn't matter if you put them both in it. You just have to have 2. You have to have 2 already in before you. Now, by the way, this next fly-in's the 29th is the end, so you've got a couple days to figure that out. Got to get 2. And by the way, if you can't get 2, you're not a builder anyway, so you don't even want to come in. This is for builders only, by the way, and I'm going to have them put that on the slide. For builders only. I don't want to waste my time, your time, or their time or money on people that can't influence 2 people, and you're talking to the wrong people. For the preload, I'm saying, not for everything else, but for the preload, pre-launch, and the way that we're going to build the business, we're looking for builders. Why? You want better results than you've ever gotten. And listen to this. More and more, we're becoming selective each day. We're learning more as we're talking about this. We're learning who's got the goods and who doesn't. It's interesting. This is all about relationship. I call it relational marketing. If you can't influence 2 people, and we're telling you that the qualifications are people of influence, people on your socioeconomic level, if you're not a person of influence and you can't write 15 to 20 people on a list, or you got them on your phone and you can't just call them and say, hey, got a business transaction I want to talk to you about. Would you give me 200 for 700? Each 30 days for the next 12 months. 2 people do the same. You want to do it in 2 months, 2 weeks, or the next 42 hours. Next 40, great. Picture of their credit card, their names come up. We tell them to select 15 to 20 and then take the top 2 and put them in. That's all we're going to allow them to load. In the pre-launch, all you're going to be able to load is 2. All of you people I'm talking to are having the benefit of load all you want. That's up to you. It's not up to me. It's up to you. But we're learning who's got the goods and who doesn't. Some people are just chatter. chatter, chatter, chatter. It's kind of like Psalm 1, sitting in the seat of the scornful. They're just talking how great they are, and they got egos bigger than my bus. And they don't know two people that they can call and influence in. Sad, sad, sad day. But anyway, fear not, my friends, fear not. You can do it. What you need to do is go read Malcolm Gladwell's Tipping Point book and realize you ain't put your 10,000 hours in. Ron Perdone's put his 10,000 hours in. I'll tell you what, Jeff Lewis has put his 10,000, Chuck Morris has put his 10,000 hours in. And you know what we're doing? We had two people the minute we said, hey, we're testing this out right now, and the results we're getting, out the roof. Out the roof. We can go 5 levels deep in either 42 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, whatever time you want. We call them business transactions. It only takes 3 to 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, even with the prep of the call, to be able to identify people that are looking for something more than what they got, willing to do something about it. You just remember this. And by the way, the fly-in is going to happen every month. So get your 2, get your people to get 2. For all of you that have people that got 2 already, they're invited to the fly-in. I don't care what level they are in the business. If they're tier 8, 10, because we're already down there, they must have 2 people committed in the enrollment. Then we'll fly them in. And by the way, you'll get an invite. You'll be able to fill out the form, because we need to get those flights in now. We need 2 weeks in advance to get everyone's flights booked and all that. Now, who's going to pay for it? The company is stepping up and paying up to $500 per flight per person, paying the 2 rooms, paying meals and meetings and transportation. Folks, what company has ever done that for you or me? I'll tell you, none. Jeunesse, it's a blessing from heaven. It's milk and honey, baby, stepping into our promised land. They want the U.S. to be big. They're willing to invest. I'm going to let them. I need your help. Let's not talk to knuckleheads. Let's not, listen, give people a break that don't have the goods to put 2 people in. There are no shortcuts to doing this, folks. You want to play first string, you're going to have to practice, practice, practice. Get your 10,000 hours in. First, second, and third string is what the preload and pre-launch is all about. And we're going to preload the numbers I told you about, and it's working right now. Now, let's talk about the next thing that's going to happen. I always build toward a function. We're going to preload for the next 3 weeks. We're going to pre-launch them for 3 more weeks. And the pre-launch is we're going to be doing Zoom calls day in and day out, day in and day out in this pre-launch period, day in and day out. I'm going to be doing calls. It's going to be systematic. We're going to have videos, the whole deal. So as we're preloading those 2 by 2, here's what, go back to the fly-in. We're going to have a function, and that function is going to be on May. That's the fly-in. Let's go to the function. There we go, right there. The function is going to be Friday, Sunday, May 10th through the 12th, right there at Lake Mary, Florida, at their world headquarters. Get this, folks. Get this. Are you ready? Guess who's going to pay for it? Jeunesse, my family. One family, one team, one Jeunesse. They're willing to invest in the first 250 people that have, listen to this, 2 by 2. 2 by 2, 2 by 2, 2 by 2. Your 2 get 2, 2. That's 6 total people. For all the people that have their 2 by 2, you are invited to the official launch of R3 and Jeunesse on May 10th, 11th, and 12th. Even if you've been to the fly-in, they will fly you back in at their expense. They will pay for your meals. They will pay for your rooms. Who's in? Let me see your hands. Who's in on this? Who wants in? Who wants us to pay your way? And watch this. You know what's interesting? Some of you are going to be there at we call this Time to Thrive event. Jeunesse 2.0, R3 Global, Team R3 Global, and Jeunesse. 2 by 2 qualified. Listen to this. Some of you will have 50 people already in your business. When we turn the switch on, turn into 100 that day. Because all those people are going to start. We'll give them an opportunity now. They'll have the app. They'll know how to get in. It's all going to be a push and play opportunity. Push and play. Almost like Uber. Push and play, push and play, push and play. Just like Airbnb, push and play. Now, Some of you are going to have 100 people there. Some of you are going to have, listen to this, 250. Some of you are going to have 500 by that time. You know, some of you, I know one of them that's going to have, you'll have 1,000 people in at that time. You know, when we turn the switch on and they all order their 100 to 300 points worth of product, you do the math. Here's what's interesting that they're offering. Now listen closely. When you come into the fly-in, they're offering what's called BDAs, Business Development Advancements. What I'm doing, I've put a formula together. The more people you preload, the better I can suggest what kind of business development. Anybody can get this. It's kind of like paying commissions in advance. They're betting on you building the business, but they're not throwing money at anybody. It's not how this works. They have systemized this to the point where, there's some stuff on the internet that says it's negative. They've systemized it. They offer it to everybody that's a builder. They offer it to. So this isn't a deal of any kind. You have to qualify, but here's the deal. You do the fly-in and 100% of you will be offered a BDA, which means this. You have 100 people in the business, they're going to do 100 points. You know they'll do 100 points. That's 10,000 points. You're going to earn minimum 10% of what you do in the business. That's $1,000. Let's say that's the first week that you're in the business. By 3 to 6 months, what's that going to be? Well, you'll be earning $5,000 or $10,000 a month in the next 3 to 6 months. They're willing to pay. Are you ready? They're willing to pay, and I cut it in half. I says, if they're going to do 10,000, let's give them upwards to a 5,000 a month BDA. You got 1,000 people in the business. I mean, come on, 100,000 in volume, you 10,000. Well, you can get a $10,000 BDA for the next 6 months. You know, and again, I'm cutting it in half basically. We won't get into all that detail, but this company is doing things I've never been done before in my lifetime. These are tools that we now have in our hand. What do we have? We have a tool that allows you to simply identify 2 people. We'll fly you in, kick the tires, look at this thing, talk to them about a BDA, set your goal with me and Team R3. We'll talk about the 2x2 matrix and how that's going to be a layover for what they already have. When we do the pre-launch, the numbers come, we'll identify how much in your BDA. You can get some money in advance as a bridge. And when you produce, by the way, they're just paying you in advance. That's all that's happening. It's really cool. So anyway, so they're offering you a fly-in. Now they're offering us my first function that's going to be broadcast around the world. We'll do it Facebook Live. We'll do it Zoom. We're going to blast it off the internet so people can sit in their homes with their groups watching us talk about a historic launch of a business opportunity done like no other business has done before. The 2 great brands. Now, let me go through this. It's new, it's innovative, it's helping any and all that are willing to help themselves. Can you do it? Yes. The ABC program, never before done before, written into a program. But we, right now in the are looking for all builders. We're putting the A and the C aside. We know that's going to come. We know that's going to come. Because once we start doing open meetings, you don't know what they are out there, but we're going to teach you how to qualify them because all of us want builders. We're looking for people, again, POIs for our builders, willing to do something for the money that they want to earn. They need to trust your judgment. The 5 things: ambitious, trustworthy, hungry, willing to work, willing to listen on your socioeconomic level and above. And this 2x2 matrix will be a grand slam out of the park. You sponsor below your socioeconomic level, it won't work. Below your socioeconomic level goes 2 to 3 deep, you're at homeless people. Networks, this is what they all get to, just slamming people in and hoping they metamorphosize into something. Well, Brig, you were a homeless guy. Shut up. Let me tell you, I was a homeless guy that owned, the bank owned, 5 surf shops, and I was doing drug deals that made me more money than everything else, but I knew that was illegal anyway. So I was an ambitious guy. I got born again, and I realized all that talent God's using in the same, I'm still marketing all natural products to a group of people, independent distributors. Ain't it great? Sense of humor. You know what we're learning to do? Business transactions. This 2x2 that's going to take us to the promised land, that any of you can go 2x2, become a builder, get to a fly-in, all expenses paid, and then to a major function 2x2. Then 5 levels deep. Watch this. We're actually asking people, here's basically what's going to be in this app. We're going to qualify people who are looking for something more than what they got. And here's basically what we're going to ask them. Hey, run across an opportunity, thought of you. Would you like to make some money, have some fun, and give a bunch of money away? Now, I'm saying this for a reason. Y'all need to write this down. It'll all be written down here, but go ahead and write it down. This is what you should be using now. Stumbled into an opportunity. My dear friend Brig, Ron, Butch, Kenny, Jeff, Chris, whoever, looks like they're going to make a bunch of money. They're having a bunch of fun, and they want to give a bunch of money away to things they really believe in. Build that wall to the kids, to the whatever, to each other. You want to make some money, have some fun, and give a bunch of money away. Yeah. Let me ask you this, and this is the preparation. You've heard of network, and here's what I'd like for you to do. Pretend like it never existed. You put it out of your mind, because I don't want that to influence what I'm about to ask you. Can you do that? Since you've never heard of it, you don't have an opinion, you don't know what to ask or not ask about it. Can you do that for me for a few minutes? Yeah. They say, yeah. Great. You can time this, folks. It's less than 20 to 30 seconds. You ask these 3 questions. Would you give me 200 for 700 in return every 30 days for the next 12 months? Now, I'll say it again. Would you give me $200 for, or 200 for, I don't say dollars, 200 for 700 every 30 days for the next 12 months? Yes or yes? Well, of course I would. Great. 1. 2. Do you know 2 people that you could contact in the next 42 hours do the same? Yes or yes? Well, of course. I know 100 people. I said, no, I only need 2. Let me ask you the third and last question. You want to do that in the next 2 months, 2 weeks, or 2 days, 42 hours. And you know what they say, 42 hours. That's great. Give me your credit card, I'm going to bless. Our app, a picture of that thing, it goes immediately to auto ship. We introduce the product to them that we say, here, use it or bury it. Doesn't matter to us. It's 2 for 700. There's your transaction. Now, it also brings up their list of people. And what you're going to do, it's going to list on there the qualifications for the top 15 to 20 people in your life that you would like to share a legitimate opportunity with. Because we're builders. We're leading with the opportunity. So the deal is, and what we're going to say is, you don't need 15 to 20. They're going to go in reserve. I want you to pick the top 2. And you said 42 hours. We're ready to call you. We can do it in the next 20 minutes if you want. You want to call them now? And we've already done it. As a matter of fact, maybe I'll have some of the, well, maybe not on this call, but Ron, get ready. I'll have you talk in just a minute. So we do the business. We call that a BT, a business transaction. Folks, let me tell you what the new vision of networking is all about. We are eliminating all the minutia. We are not making them go to 12 years of school and get their 10,000 hours in this before they can start earning money. We are going to take the wisdom. You know what wisdom is? It's someone else's experience that you use. Experience is the best teacher as long as it's someone else's experience. And it's wisdom. Use what I am teaching you and what I've perfected and what we're going to do. You select these 2. Choose what. Don't get in a hurry. Don't get greedy. Don't panic. Choose wisely. The mindset. Choose wisely. Those 2. We are going to do the same exact thing with them. Hey, Greg, this is Brig. I know that Jerry called you. Let me ask you something. Are you in a position to talk for a couple minutes? Yeah, you want to clear the time. Let me ask you something. Jerry says that you're a pretty ambitious guy, that you like to make money. Is that true? Yeah. Let me ask you something. You want to make some more money, have some fun, and give a bunch of money away? Yeah. Have you ever heard of networking? Yeah. I says, can you do me a favor and put it out in your mind like you've never heard of it? Because I want to ask you something. We are taking our products to net, but I don't want you thinking about it at all. You don't have any opinion. Can you do that? Yeah. Let me ask you 3 questions. Would you give me 200 for 700 each 30 days for the next 12 months? Yes or yes? Yes. Do you know 2 people that would do the same in the next 42 hours? Yes or yes? Yes. Great. You want to do it in the next 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 days, or 42 hours? 42 hours. Great. Give me your credit card. Click. Here's your product. By the way, you're going to love the product. Drink it, feel it, share it, baby. And by the way, bring up who's the top 2 people that you'd want to share the same thing with. By the way, let me share with you where we're going. 5 levels deep, you'll earn 700 back. So we can do that in the next 42 hours, or we can take 2 days or 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months to do it. You choose. It's just 32 phone calls, basically, just what I did with you, business transactions. And by the way, just let me give you a little insight. 10 levels deep is about 1,000 people on each leg. You're going to earn about 5,000 to 10,000 a month. We can do that in the next 2 weeks or 2 months. That's up to you too. Do you want the 5,000 to 10,000 now or later? Great. Let's go ahead and start booking these BTs. Can I share something with you, folks? 5 and 10 levels deep will be what's called an emerald level. You will make 100 to 300,000 a year. And some of you in the next 14 days from the time I turn the switch on are going to be my new emeralds. My goal is to break 100 emeralds between now and November. Why November? End of November is when the cutoff date is for the Hawaii trip. You have to be an emerald. We can get you there with this 2x10, 10 levels deep, 2x2, 10 levels deep. We'll get you to emerald, all expense paid trip to Hawaii for you and your wife each and every year, the rest of your ongoing life. Because remember, this isn't going away. A 2x2 matrix has no attrition. We are looking for people who are looking. That's why we're not going to build this with hay, stubble, and straw. We're building it with gold and silver and rubies and beautiful building materials. We will get other people, but they are not qualified for the 2x2 matrix as a builder. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to stay focused. We're going to help you to build in depth. You decide what you want. You want more. You commit to do something in this. You set your goal. Here's your goal: to put 15 to 20 people of influence on a list, identify the top 2, do what I just told you to do, get them to these calls. Saturday morning, I'll have a training call. You place them in your matrix, 2x2 matrix, one left, one right, and you prep them, and you do the same thing with them. You tell them who we are, what we want to accomplish, so that they see the big picture. They're not going to get in for $700, but that's just a business transaction. They're going to get in for the 5 and 10,000. They're going to get in for the 50. Well, I'm going way up there. Folks, my goal, you want to hear a goal? You shouldn't want to know my goal, but I'm going to tell you anyway. By the end of November, with 100 emeralds, I'm going to break 25 to 100, no doubt about it. Because the next year, I'm going to break 250 plus. My goal is to take this to $1 billion in less than I took Monavie to. It took me 3.5 years, with 3 years and some with them. It's going to take me half that time. Why? Because of you, helping you to do it. I'm going to help more people to accomplish. People are going to be making 10,000, 20,000, 30, 40, and 50,000. You ready? 100,000 a month before the end of November. Never before in the history of networking has this been done. It's all numbers, folks. The problem with traditional networking is they all want to get into the weeds and tell you what their products. Man, this CBD, it gets in you, and you know, no, it's not pot, it's not this, and it's not. Listen, I know about hemp products, I know about HGH products, I know about all of them. You can all kiss my royal lips. I took Monavie to $1 billion, and it had nothing to do with Monavie. Really didn't. It's a good product, great product, as a matter of fact. It had to do with a person that was passionate enough about it to systemize a way. I taught the 2020. People bought into it. I taught them how to do it. I wrote the manuals on how to do it, and I'm going to do it again. And it's going to be simpler, faster. Why? Amway took me 2 hours to show the plan. Monavie took me 20 minutes. I just did a 2 to 3 minute presentation with you. Welcome to the 21st century, or I call the 3rd day marketing approach. We're going to do our presentations in 2 to 3 minutes, and we're calling them business transactions. And let me tell you how we're going to gauge success from this point on. By how much you give, not how much you receive. I'm happy for you making your 1,000 to 5,000. I want you to make all the money, set your heart to make, but it's all people. You put people in, you do volume, you make the money. I'm going to tell you how we're going to gauge your giving. Even on your app, you're going to have the ability to give to the and by the way, I ain't big on charities. I'm big on giving to the people that you are blessing. I'm to the marketplace ministry, and then secondary, anywhere you want to give. I suggest newlifenetwork.org. That's where I've been giving all my 30 some years that I created that ministry. I've never begged for money, never had to. Millions and millions of dollars given because it's good seed and good soil. We got a 365 program. Go to newlifenetwork.org. Start giving a penny a day, a nickel a day, a dime a day, $1 a day, $5, 10. It doesn't matter. Just start giving and watch what God will do. We're going to have that built into the app. You can give to Jeunesse kids. You can give to whatever you want to give, but it's between you and God. But I promise you this, you're going to get on that stage and you're going to be, the tears are going to flow because of the changes you're going to be able to make in people's lives. Folks, we're going to have some fun, make some money, and give a bunch of money away. I'm looking for those kind of people. Let me see. BT, depth, business, dude, draw out your group, 2x10, this. Okay, I've done the pre-launch, the preload, the fly-in we're doing. Hey, Ron, let me go to Ron Perdome if we can, Bonnie. Unmute Mr. Ron, and let me have Ron kind of say a few words. Ron?
Hey, Brig, how you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Am I there?
Yeah, take it over, buddy. You're on. Everyone's
Appreciate
listening.
it. Hey, Brig. One. Listen. You know what? Thank you for calling me last year. This has been a year now. You know,
Yeah.
over a year now. You know, and we had these talks and these dreams of doing what we're doing, but you know, yes, we had obstacles. You know, earth, water was a obstacle, but a blessing. We busted through it. Pure was an obstacle, but a blessing because it took us where we are now. I mean, what a great place for us to land with a company that just opened up their arms and they're saying, hey, and listen, the other companies talked, this company is writing checks. And so, and you know, I mean, it's just a big blessing for us all. But the 2x2, you know what, you guys need to understand this very clearly, that in the days of Monterey, you know, getting involved with Monterey back in 2005, we built wide. We built wide, 20 left and 20 right. We dumped in people. We did all this stuff here, but we found out this. You know, it's always been known that the depth is where your stability is. Your depth is where you're stable. So the 2x2 creates the behavior of you building in depth, stability, depth until you're stable. Then you can build. Then the width happens. Very important. And you know what? That's what I'm more excited than anything else. The products are great, but listen, at the end of the day, it's about us building a stable business that we're going to passive income, that every Friday you can count on it. And people are not just dumping out. You're not dumping as quickly as you dump them in. They dump out because there's no business structure into what we're doing. I'm not saying what we did was bad, but what I'm saying is that at that time now, people attention span is like the attention of a gnat. It's like they just is gone. So what we have done is change the MLM industry. What we're trying to do is put a new image on it from a thing or just something that you can try out to a true business. Listen, if I did my business, my AC business that did well, if I treated it like I did my network business, I would have been out of business in the first in the first year, because there's no rules, there's no laws, there's no commitment, there's no accountability, and so it would have fallen apart. So what we have done is put a commitment. We put one, you can only sponsor two people, which creates the behavior of depth. Number two, we have put in a commitment where you commit to these people and your authorship. And what we have done is put accountability into this program where, listen, you are accountable, or you know what? You lose that spot, or you lose the app that brings you the value of R3 Global. That's going to be all discussed in time. And it builds quicker. And not only that, but it qualifies your people in a much quicker way. So you can qualify quicker, you can build quicker, you can build more stable, you can build in depth like we should, and then the width happens. Hey, listen, you are a building block now.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
and
Ron,
you too. It's just a beautiful thing.
yeah, let me tell them about this. The numbers are simple. At the end of the day, whether it takes 3 months, 6 months, 12 months to get there, you'll have 12 legs. That's the maximum you need to maximize the entire comp plan. We're working on the company to honor this 2x2 so that when you take the 5 levels deep, we're going to allow you to put a third person. We just want to make sure that you ensure your commitment to these first 2 legs. Yes. We will break every record in network marketing just by taking it 2 and 3 levels deep, because 80% of the people don't sponsor 2 people that keep them on auto ship for 90 days. By putting 2 by 2 by 2, you know what's interesting? You're breaking even. That's when people will not quit. Right. And so it's not on you anymore. It's you helping the 2. Do you have to get the 2? Of course you do. Of course you do. Choose wisely who you put in right now so that you can get the 2 quickly. Hey, Ron, tell them, let's close with this. Talk about what your experience in this 2x2 matrix, what results you and Chris, Paul, and some of the team are seeing. Just using this 3-minute presentation, prepping them, doing the presentation, and then getting them committed. Go ahead and tell them what's happening.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you know what? I've never seen anything like this. Chris King and Paul Mason is on right now. But listen, what we have done, I mean, this is not theory now, okay? I want you to understand this. This is not theory. This is business. And listen, it's going to attract business-minded people. Chris and I has been building in depth. Listen, we're up. We're in our 5th and 6th level of depth with people. You know why? What we're doing? It's non-threatening now. It's not 2020. You know the threatening thing of I gotta find 40 people. No, 2 people. You can actually capture the whole comp plan in the team commissions only with 2 people building in depth. It's the most beautiful thing. But listen, what I have discovered is this: when you bring business principles and business language to people, you weed out the business people. They just come to you, and they just automatically have 2 people in their mind. They know what you know who they want. They have 5, they have 10, but we're looking for 2. So that's why I say, choose your best, choose wisely, choose your best. But listen, we are building. I've never seen anything like this. You know, these sponsoring and recruiting with this program. You know, it's
right. And Ron, let me finish with this. There's not a company that is willing to talk to us about this. Our
That's
ABC
the other
program,
thing.
our formulations, the way that the methodology for building, the high-tech tools that we're going to bring. So here's all you need to do. For all the people that are ready to preload, go to brighart.com, make sure that you've got your sponsor's name and make sure they're in. Then you go to brighart.com, you'll fill out this. This is where your email goes, by the way. So you can see this right here. This is where you send for basically promos, brighart.com. You can sign up for push notifications. We now have a text platform. We now have the email platform. If you didn't get a text or an email from us, you go to brighart.com and text R3 Global to 904-900-2535, and you'll start getting our texts. So everyone write this down. This is on brighart.com. But this way, because we know this, you're not opening up emails. But at brighart.com, you fill out that form for the preload process. For any of you that have 2, you need to fill out the form also to register with us to get to the fly-in, because I have to approve it. It'll go to brighart.com project, and I will approve to make sure that you have your 2. And for the function, you can already, remember, there's only 125 couples or 250 people invited to the May 10th, 11th. You want to be there. It's going to be historic. So if you already have your 2x2, you need to register for the function. Now, let's back up. First things first. Saturday will be my training call. All the calls are on brighart.com Saturday at 11 a.m. I will go through this process of identifying the people, how to put them in, how to go each level deep, what that means, where they're going to be placed in the 2x2 matrix. Then I'll actually show you an overlay of the binary matrix, because no longer are we leading with the binary and the unilevel saying, hey, you got to get in the power leg, you got to get in, and then they do nothing.
That's right.
It's amazing to me that there's still people on this call that are, I want to be in that big leg. So what have you done? Here's what I'm telling people that tell me that. I says, good, bring me 12 people that you can preload and I'll put you in the overflow leg. See, I don't care where I put them. It don't matter to me because they don't understand. I'm going to put them in my pay leg. I can get plenty of people to build because each of my legs is my pay leg is what they ought to be saying. Put me in the pay leg. But no, they want to listen to all the broke people. I'm going to get that power leg. Good. You get in the power leg. But I'll tell you what, you bring me 12 people and I'll put you in it. And you know what they don't do? I don't see them again because they're a bunch of blowhards. They can't put nobody in. They can't even put their own mother in. Their own mother don't like them. Got to tie a bone around their neck to even love them because they're not lovable people. And you know what they are? They're takers. They're not givers. Now I'm getting way deep now. I've had one too much sip of wine. I shouldn't have done that. Hey, Jeffrey, I'm looking at you for a second. You've been with me this whole run. And then let's unmute Jeff. Jeff, you want to make a comment about what's going on? You followed me through the wilderness this last year with the two companies, and now we found a home. You excited?
Yeah, real excited. I mean, hey, opportunities like this to have billion-dollar brands with people you love, having a bunch of fun doesn't come around every day. And anything worthwhile that's going to be big, hey, there's going to be a journey. And so it's been a great journey. And now I feel like a thoroughbred, just ready to get out of the chute and run, baby. So thanks for leading, Brig. And yeah,
amen. Hey, amen, Jeff. Hey, Chuck, why don't you unmute and say hey to everyone? Chuck, in my last two ventures, he was in the Amway business, never got a whole lot done. But let me tell you, we got our training. We put our 10,000 hours in. The last two functions or businesses that we were kind of playing with, Chuck went emerald and diamond in both of them and did it almost overnight. But that was because, you know, he knew the strategy. This one's a whole lot different. We're learning a little bit on this one, aren't we, Chuck?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep. Loud and clear. Encourage the people as to what you've learned, Chuck, and give them a couple tips about what you're learning, even in the preload, about what's working and what isn't.
Well, the thing that I love this new approach because of the fact that, well, let me just give you an example. I was working with one of my personals, and he had been talking to somebody, but had kind of been talking the old way, you know, hadn't really used the approach. And he got him on the phone with me to do answer some questions. And, you know, he said, yeah, I answered a few of his questions. And he said, well, yeah, I think I'll just be an affiliate. And I said, well, let me ask you something. Did you, I said, did you use the approach, you know? And he goes, well, not really. I said, okay, we'll just call him Jim. Hey, Jim, I'm going to treat you just like you're a brand new prospect that, you know, that's one of my personals or whatever. And let me just go through this thing. And I went through it with him in 20, 30 seconds. And guess what? He comes back, he goes, I can do that. I'm a builder. How soon can I get my two? You know? So,
and wasn't it refreshing? Wasn't it refreshing to him and you?
Right. So, but the other thing that I'm seeing is I love it because it simplifies the qualifying process. Because, you know, and I've talked to Brig about this and other people, but, you know, well, even Brig has said, you know, when his business turned around in Amway, it was when he learned how to qualify people properly. All right.
Yep.
This is just a simple way that anybody can qualify people. Now we're not going to run off the affiliates, and we're not going to run off the customers. We're going to have lots of those. And I'm excited about that. But within a couple seconds, you know whether they're an affiliate or a builder. And
That's right.
That's the beauty of it, you know.
I'm loving it. And they're going to feel good not being a square peg jammed in a round hole. Hey, thank you, Chuck. Hey, Joey Michaels, I see you're on. Joey, you followed me through hell and back, my brother. Talk to him a little bit about why you're excited. Unmute yourself and greet him. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, Joey.
Hey, Brig, you got me?
Yep, got you. Go for it.
All right, perfect. Well, the only thing that I could add to what they've already said, which has been great information, is how important it is to start the process now, so that in a few weeks when we flip the switch, you know, like you mentioned earlier, we'll go up the ranks, you know, on the way to Emerald virtually overnight. But you've got to start planting those seeds now, and you've got to get completely out of the mindset that we've used over the last 20 years. Forget about 2020, like you said, and just focus on helping two people and teach them, you know, a very simple model. And don't get hung up in the weeds on the semantics of the products and how good they are and the science behind them. It's simply a business transaction. And it's taking all the pressure off of the people I'm talking to now. I'm saying, look, this is where we are. This is the company we're with. Everything's in place. I thought of you. And do you have two people that want to join us? And I'm keeping it, you know, that simple. And with that philosophy and with this model, it just makes it a lot easier. I don't have to be an expert on the product. I don't have to overcome objections. I just simply tell them, it's a business transaction. Are you a builder, or do you just want to be a customer and or affiliate? So, but again, the thing I would leave everybody with tonight is to don't wait until we start or actually launch. Now's when you have to lay the foundation so that the work later is much easier.
Right. And that's right. The more work you do in the preload, less you're going to have to do in the launch. Hey, Scott and Gail, why don't you guys say hey to everyone? We're trying to hit a little bit around the country. They're up in, I think, Ohio somewhere. Scott and Gail, why don't you tell me why you excited? This is about the third and last thing I hope that I'm ever going to drag you through. But tell them why you're kind of interested in this versus maybe something that maybe was kind of similar in the past.
Well, listen, the deal is anything you do, you got to be with the right people. And
right.
You know, we have friends in North Dakota drilling oil wells, you know, and I told them, would you partner with the guys that's got 12 wells to be dug another well? If it come up empty, would you keep drilling? And that's what it is with Brig. We just know that when the two things come together, right product, right company with his system, it's going to go. We don't even have a doubt. So we're excited this thing's come together, and there is nothing else. We don't want to build with anybody else but people that we love, you know?
And I'm excited that Scott's excited and he's doing those 3 questions and getting these business guys ready to go.
Amen. Amen.
You know, the truth is with that, I didn't know. I said, how's that actually going to work, you know? And, but the 2 guys that's around me, never done a network in their life, that's all I told them. To this minute, they still don't know the product. And there was without a doubt, no question, want to do it, just tell us when.
Isn't that beautiful? You know what? We have waited to have a 2 to 3 minute presentation. How many BTs can you do a day? I'm actually doing a Go Givers program, 10 to 20 a day, 25 to 50 a day, and 50 to 100 a day. And I'm actually going to reward people with R3 and the Builders Club by doing that. We used to be go getters, now we're go givers, whoever gives it away the most. Let me ask you, thank you, Scott and Gail, is Noel or Aaron on? I don't see him on here. Are you guys on? Noel or Aaron Burns said? I don't see him on. Okay, let's do this. Hey, Cindy Stacy, I see you on. Can you unmute yourself and say hey? There you go. Cindy, talk to me. I can't hear you. Are you muted? You're still muted somehow. Okay. Okay, I can't get, I'll tell you what, let's go. Hey, Chris King, you've been with us since the moment. Hey, Cindy, I'll get back to you. Chris King, can you unmute yourself, say hey?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, buddy. Love the beard. Love it, love it, love it. Moses, my brother. The new Moses.
Well, one thing that I would say on the questions, whenever you ask somebody the questions, be sure to listen to what they say, because sometimes the silence can speak volumes. It's funny because we were meeting with a couple of guys at Fuzzy's Tacos of all places, and we got a lady on the phone, and this was early on. We discovered something from this, and some of you may run into this. We kind of talked for about 10 minutes, and then we asked the questions. And when we asked the question, the first question, would you give 200 to make 700? The phone kind of went dead. And we're like, hello, are you still there? Oh, yeah, I'm here. And she was like, well, what's the commission? So she just totally didn't get it, and we kind of had to pry the yes out of her. And then when we said, okay, you said yes to that, do you know two people that might like to do the same? She said, no, I can't think of anybody. So that right there told us, you know, what type of person that she was. So when you ask those questions, just listen to what they say, because it's going to tell you what type of person that they are. But it's worked fantastic. I've taken one lady, the lady that sold our house, Tasha, in 2 weeks, she has 22 people underneath her from doing this. So it works, folks. It is fantastic.
Stick to the script.
Yes.
Stick to the script, folks. The biggest thing you're asking people to do is put networking out of their mind, because if they jump back into that world, they're going to get stuck in the mud and cooked in the squat. I'm going to end with this. Hey, Bruce Orlebeck. Yeah, come on, buddy. You have been my friend all these years since my Amway days. You and I are going to head off to Germany and go down the Rhine River together, you and your lovely and mine. But in the meantime, Brucey, baby, here we go one more time. Why this? Why now, Bruce? And why do you think everyone on this call should consider doing this as a builder?
Well, number one, if you go back to the Amway days, we're talking hour and a half, 2-hour home meetings. We're doing everything wrong. People just got in so they could get out and get rid of us, basically. Everything has been a process along the line. Roseanne and I've learned one thing. We sat down with you and Lita 2 years ago, and we said, we need to shorten this up to eight to I've got a phone call coming in. We said we need to shorten this thing down to nothing here as fast as we can, and make this to where it was simple, easy, and it was going to be something that anybody could do. But we had to capture their attention within the first 10 to 20 seconds. If we didn't do that, kiss it goodbye. They weren't going to listen to any one of us right now. And when you guys came up with this simple presentation right now, it qualifies them. It very simplistically says, you're either in or out. Get out of my face otherwise and move on. I mean, we'll come back and get you later, but it's just, let's just get this 3 simple questions in front of them. It's so easy to do. And it's a good lead in by just simply saying what Brig's been teaching us so far. Do you want to make a lot of money? Do you want to have a lot of fun? And do you want to give a bunch of money away? If you answer those 3 questions right there, they've qualified themselves that they're in the looking zone. Then it's just taking the next 3 questions and running with it. I mean, yes or no? I mean, it's breaking it down. And the one thing I can say we've had experience with in using those 3 questions, that we're talking about, the most simplistic way of doing this is, if you gave me 200 and I gave you 700 every month for the next 12 months, would you do that and commit to doing that for the next 12 months? Ask yes or no at the end of that. Or like Brig does, yes and yes. If you don't, they're going to go off into a tangent talking about something else. But if you direct them, you're guiding what their answer is going to be. It's either yes or no. You don't want all the other BS that goes along with it. It's very simple.
Bruce, what I'm going to do, according to what you just said, we're going to have all this in the app.
Yep.
So it's going to direct you, and you're just going to get to host it. Hey, folks, listen, I think we've gone enough. Saturday at 11 o'clock, I'm going to do the details, the teaching and training of this. Hey, listen, make sure you get people to brighart.com. Make sure that you're preloading. Set 2 goals, 1 to get to the fly-in and 2 to get to the function. Of course, your goal is to get 2 by 2, get active and qualified, star and star maker, so that that's the building block that we want replicated 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 times deep to freedom. Here's our mantra: 2 by 2 and 42 to freedom. 2 by 2 and 42 to freedom. I invite all of you to get your 2, get to the fly-in, get 2 by 2, and get to the function. Folks, let's go write some history. There's more to this than I'm telling you. We're not telling you about all that we're doing with all the technology and all the stuff that's coming to you the company. I am so blessed. Thank you, Kevin Gagiri. Thank you for Tony McKnight. Thank you for all the guys and gals. Thank you for Bonnie and Katie and all the folks, CJ, that are helping us put all this together. So I'm going to wish you a good evening. I bless you. Habakkuk 2:2. The vision's written. I'm going to run with it. It's going to come. It's going to come at an appointed time, and it's not going to leave us. It's going to bring us into that vision. We're going into the promised land. We're going to help hundreds of thousands of people. The more projects going to be rebirthed, Doug Rowland and Sergio, it's going to happen. We're going to give to the people and bless their socks off. We're going to give God honor, glory, and praise through it all. Hey, thanks for joining us. God bless you guys. Go find your two. Look forward to hearing from you. See ya.
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.